Welcome to Key Tech. Please describe this channel if you are interested in today's video. Anyone who knows that Apple does not put its eggs in one basket. Even if it is looking for suppliers to cooperate, it still has to place orders with 2 or 3 similar manufacturers to supply at the same time. The advantage is that it not only reduces dependence on a single manufacturer, but also increases profit margins. The choice between markets is the same. Apple is putting more eggs in the Indian basket, accelerating the transfer of the industrial chain, launching new product research and development for iPhone 17 in India, and hoping that Chinese companies will build factories in India. Is Apple determined to leave? Apple's desire for the Indian market. Apple follows market demand. Wherever the market demand is large, Apple will take root. China is the world's largest consumer market, so Apple entered the Chinese market as early as 30 years ago, and every generation of iPhone and ecological products it releases sell well in the Chinese market. This success is hard-won. Apple gathered the right people at the right time, seized the opportunity during the opening up of the Chinese market, and cooperated with Foxconn and other foundries to manufacture iPhones in the mainland. Coupled with the support of Chinese consumers, Apple was able to set sales records repeatedly. New highs. However, Apple does not only want the Chinese market. The Indian market also has a huge consumer group, so it has huge business opportunities for Apple. Apple has taken some measures, such as lowering product prices, increasing local production, and providing special features and services for the Indian market to attract more Indian consumers. Apple's desire for the Indian market is very strong. On the one hand, the Indian market has huge growth potential. Apple's investment can promote the sales of its products and services and increase the company's revenue and profits. On the other hand, Indian officials have given Apple various preferential policies, including land approval, financial subsidies, talent support, etc. Foxconn, Apple's largest foundry, has built multiple production lines in India, starting from the production of the old iPhone SE and now simultaneously launching the world's first iPhone 15. Apple is increasing its presence in India. With Apple's participation, India's manufacturing status is getting higher and higher, and the industrial economy continues to grow. Apple has paid so much and must be rewarded. According to the financial report released by Apple, sales in India increased by 48% in the 2022-23 fiscal year, reaching 493.21 billion rupees, equivalent to approximately 43.3 billion yuan. Apple is striking while the iron is hot and accelerating the transfer of the industrial chain. According to well-known analyst Ming-Chi Kuo, Apple will start new product research and development for iPhone 17 in India, and will also increase India's iPhone production capacity to 20% to 25% next year. This year's iPhone production capacity made in India accounts for only 12% to 14%. If up to 25% of the production capacity can be transferred, Apple will completely gain a foothold in the Indian market and truly integrate with manufacturing in India. This transfer of production capacity will also bring more employment opportunities and promote local economic development. It also enables Apple to strengthen its localized operations in the Indian market and further consolidate its position in the Indian market. Apple and India are mutually beneficial. Apple is gradually increasing local production in India, which not only helps reduce product costs, but also meets India's requirements for local manufacturing and provides employment opportunities for India. Both parties can achieve a win-win situation. Apple has no reason to give up the Indian market. India will also give Apple the green light considering the issue of utilizing its demographic dividend. Can Made in India replace China? Apple is determined to leave, and its investment in India has increased instead of falling. More and more production capacity has been invested in Indian production lines. As a result, China's iPhone orders may decrease. Apple hopes that Chinese companies will build factories in India. It seems to be moving towards globalization, but in fact it is shifting the focus of production capacity from the mainland to India. What's more, India's business environment is very harsh. Many international giants have been severely punished in India. They are either accused of tax evasion or investigated by India for illegal transfer of funds. As long as India targets foreign companies, it can issue fines for any reason. No matter how foreign companies explain, India will not be moved. Such a market environment makes people wonder whether manufacturing in India can really replace China. In contrast, China's business environment is very stable, which has attracted giants from all over the world to invest in China. India only cares about its own selfish interests. After foreign companies successfully make money, India wants to keep the money from foreign companies. Many foreign companies that have clearly seen the true face of India have chosen to withdraw. It is better not to make any money than to make money and have it taken away, so as to avoid losing everything in a bamboo basket. The business environment is only one aspect. On the other hand, India's industrial chain is incomplete. The overall quality of the population and labor force is poor, and there is no foundation for high-precision manufacturing. Any of these problems are enough to keep you busy. Although the proportion of iPhone production capacity made in India continues to increase, most of the parts are imported and assembled from China. This also involves the issue of transportation hubs. The roofs of Indian trains can be filled with people. Can this level of transportation support Apple's huge production demand? I'm afraid India doesn't know either. Manufacturing in India cannot replace China. If Apple really leaves, it will only lose itself.